about volume of a prism. Today we'll do volume of cones. So let's just kind of rehash the volume of a prism thing. And then we'll do volume of a cone. So volume today, cones. Now when I say cones, I mean actual cones. So an ice cream cone. And I mean any object that's a pyramid. So square pyramids, triangular pyramids, all of these are basically cones. Alright, so when we did volume yesterday, we found that the volume of any shape is going to be, or any prism, so volume of a prism specifically, is the big B times the big H. And we might have had something like this. This is a triangular prism. And maybe I give you this is 5, and this is 3, and this is 8 units. And we want to find the volume of that. So to do the volume, we have to identify, well, what shape is our base? What shape is the bottom?
Triangle.
And it is a triangle. Now, some of you, I know what's going to happen. You're going to say, oh, it's this rectangle right here, because that's what's on the literal bottom. But that's not what I mean. For a prism, the top and bottom have to be identical. So if I were to choose that rectangle, look at the top here, it's just a line. So that's not going to work out too well. So the volume is going to equal the area of that triangle. So I need the area of the triangle. What's the area of a triangle?
Base is height divided by 2.
Okay, and notice little b and little h, because I'm talking specifically about that triangle. I am missing my height, so what do I need to do to get that? Yep, and what's my hypotenuse?
5.
So 5 squared, and one of my legs is 3 squared, and my height, so height plus 9 equals 25.
It's 4.
And in the end, yes, it's 4. So that's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So now I can find the area of my triangle. My height is 4, my base is 3, divided by 2. And I get 6. So when I use my prism formula, the area of my base is 6, and my height is what?
8.
8. Thus, meaning my volume is 48 units cubed, because I'm talking about cubes that are in that shape.
Never mind.
Okay, now, what if I want a cone or a pyramid? So let's do a cone, because that one's pretty simple, and we can review a cylinder. So whenever we're doing a cone, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend it's a prism, and then divide by 3. And the reason is because, and we could actually prove this, we could get some sand, we could get a cone, and we could actually get a cone. What we're going to do is we're going to pretend that our cone is inside a cylinder, and it just so happens that if I were to fill this cone with sand, it would be 1/3 the amount of the sand that I could fill the cylinder I could put it in. So the volume of any cone, even if it is a pyramid, is big B, big H. So it's the same as a prism, but then I divide by 3. So let's do this cylinder. So let's say this cylinder has a diameter of 12. Let's say it has a height of 20. So make sure your calculators are handy. So volume of a cone is going to be the volume of this prism. I'm going to pretend it's a cylinder. So what shape is my bottom?
It's circle.
It's a circle. So area of the circle is pi r squared. And my radius is what?
6.
6. So 36 pi. Okay, so 36 pi is my big B. And my height is 20. And divide by 3. And my area, or sorry, volume, is going to be
240 pi.
240 pi units cubed. Any questions how to do a cone?
No.
Okay. We'll do a pyramid, and then we'll do one type of question that you do need to be able to do. but it won't take us long. Is anyone confused on what we're doing here?
Why did you put it in a cylinder?
Because a cone, its bottom is a circle,
Yeah.
so it fits in a cylinder.
It's just
It wouldn't make sense to put it in a
Rectangle.
rectangle.
No, I just want to know why you put it in anything.
You don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to draw it. I mean, all I was saying when I drew that picture is if you were to fill a cone with sand, it would be a third as much as if you put it inside a cylinder.
So you were trying to help us remember to divide it by 3.
Yes. Okay. You could run an experiment to do that. So let's say I had let's do a difficult pyramid.
What happened to the triangular pyramid?
Hey Ryan, tell everyone how easy math class is in college.
First off, I would say this. If you want to go to college for communications, go to the University of Alabama and take Math 110. Easiest class ever. All it is the first chapter of your math books, practically. Probability, set, notations,
Really?
easy.
Sign me up.
Hey, I'll see you in 2 years.
Would you say you were prepared, Ryan?
I mean, we didn't have to do all that stuff together.
So what Ryan was telling me earlier is that his whole class is basically one chapter that we did in pre-calc, and he has an A. And I think we skipped most of it, right?
Yeah.
We skipped most of it because I said to him, this is too easy. So, good job. So pay attention, do well. You'll get A's in college, I promise you. He didn't turn into a math major, though. I don't know why not. All right, so let's say the side of this pentagonal pyramid is 10. And let's say its height, so not slant height, let's say its height is 20. Okay? Now, if this were a prism, I'm going to need the area of the bottom, which is going to be a pentagon. So let's find the area of that pentagon. Area of polygon is what?
AP divided by 2.
AP divided by 2. And I don't have
The apothem.
the apothem. So let's just draw out that pentagon. And I have a 10 right here. And my apothem is going to be right here. So this is like that previous chapter. So I need this right triangle. Okay, and I'm going to use trigonometry in that right triangle. So I'll draw out here just so we can see a little bit better. This is how many degrees inside?
36.
36 degrees. How did we get that?
360 divided by 2 divided by 5.
Okay, divided by 10 because I would have 10 of these triangles and then I divide it in half, right?
Same thing.
Same idea. What's this side length? 5. And I'm looking for the hypotenuse or this.
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 Yeah.
The A. So tangent is 36 equals 5 over A.
Correct.
So A equals 5 divided by 10, 36. And let's get that to the nearest 10th.
You get 6.9.
Anyone confused what I'm doing here? Alright, so I have my apothem is 6.9. What's my perimeter?
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
50. And then we'll divide that by 2. So 6.9 times 50 divided by 2.
You get 172.0. So 172.
Okay. And now I'm ready to use my volume formula. Since this is a cone, it's big B times big H divided by
3.
So big B is
172 divided by times 10
times
20
20 divided by
3.
3. So what's the volume of this cone?
1146.7.
1146.7
46.7.
units cubed.
Why did it go so big?
Okay, because we divided by 3. And it's not divisible by 3. Any questions on how we did that?
What was the second number?
20.
20 because it's the height. Now, what if I had given you... Actually, we should talk about this. So, let's do a square pyramid just because it's easier. So we'll have a square pyramid here. And maybe I give you the slant height. Now, before, with surface area, I wanted the slant height. So maybe the slant height's 12, and maybe this length is 8. How am I going to find the volume of this? What do I need?
You need
Well-
the actual height.
I need the actual height this time. So when you're doing your, whatchamacallits, your shapes, we need to know the actual height. So if I were to try to draw this down like, let me get a cross section right here. I want this triangle. Got a picture on the inside there.
Wait, so the bottom is square?
Yes, the bottom's the square. So this triangle that I just drew here, this lengthened piece is the 12. This length here is 4. Do you see why that's 4?
Yes.
Okay, this would be the actual height. So how am I going to get that? Pi tag. Could I get this angle right here, just if I wanted it?
Yes. Yeah.
How do I get that in?
Inverse.
Okay, tell me how to do it. Let's put it up here in the corner. We don't need it, but suppose I ask.
Hypotenuse and adjacent, so cosine x equals adjacent and hypotenuse, which is 4 over 12.
And x is
Inverse.
1/3. So inverse cosine. What do we get? What's x?
Inverse cosine 1/3. You get 70.5.
Okay, so 71 degrees about. So that would be our angle of inclination, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about that for honors. You're going to need to know how to use angles of inclination in your project
Fun.
to find lengths. Okay, anyways, height. I can use what else to find height here?
Pi tag.
Alright, so we'll have 4 squared plus h squared equals 12 squared.
16 plus h squared equals 144.
Subtract the 16, h squared is
128.
And then square root.
11.31.
okay. So now that gives me the actual height of this thing, but how am I going to use that?
That's gonna be your big H.
That's going to be my big H, 11.31. Anyone confused why that's my big H? That's my actual height of this pyramid. It is not the slant height. We'll divide that by 3. Now, what's big B?
64.
It is 64 because area of a square. So what's the volume of this cone?
You've got it, Daniel.
Yeah. Oh, 64 times that.
241.28.
Never mind, you don't got it.
If I left
type
it
in-
instead of at
Type in
11
6, that's
point,
64.
if I left it as 8 root 2
No.
instead of 11.3, is that fine?
Yes.
Okay. Because then I got something totally different.
You should. You should be close within.
Well, I got
hold on.
362.0.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, something went wrong.
64 times
Okay,
2.
I'll take a look at what you did and how you typed it in later.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go one more cone, but we're going to ask, instead of asking the volume of this cone, I'm going to give you the volume. So the volume of this cone, I'm going to tell you is 80 pi. That is the volume, units cubed.
Okay.
I see what I did.
And I'm going to tell you that the area of the circle at the bottom is 10 pi. I want to know the height of this cone. So, in order to do that, see now I've given you the area of this circle. I'm looking for the actual height of this cone. So I'm going to write my formula for a cone. But I'm replacing B with what?
80 pi.
80 pi. And I'll replace big B with
10 pi.
10 pi. And I'll replace H with H, because I don't know what H is, right? I'm looking for it. And I have my 3. Now, how do I solve this?
Multiply by 3.
So I get 240 pi equals 10 pi H.
So
Now what?
Divide by 10, 8, 10 pi, I mean.
Divide by 10 pi, and I get
24 pi.
20, no, pi's
24.
cancel.
The pi's will
Oh,
cancel.
that's right, 24.
That's right.
Since when?
Since they're
If
the
I
same.
do 240 pi,
Yeah.
and I have 10 pi H, and I divide both sides by 10 pi, in this particular example, the pi's cancel. Because I divided, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 pi. equals
Does
0
anyone
pi.
need to see another example of how to find the height given that same information? Another example? Okay. Let's do a square pyramid, same idea, and then honors is going to be
Like that
dismissed.
cone. It's clean. It's
Okay,
the
so
same.
we have a square pyramid. That's going to be an important piece of information. I'm going to give you the height of this is 16 inches. And I'll tell you the volume of this pyramid. Let's say that's 80 cubic inches. And I want you to find the length and width of the base. Well, it's a square pyramid, so I know that the length and width are actually the same thing, right?
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to involve my formula. Formula of a cone is,
Big B times big H divided by 3.
and I replace B with 80. I do not know big B. I know H is.
16.
Now what do I do?
Multiplied by 3.
So I have 240 equals 16 times big B.
15 equals B.
So we divide both sides by,
16.
and what do we get for big B?
15.
15. All right, now this, we need to understand what this means. This is the area of the bottom. You with me?
Yes.
Have I answered this question yet?
No.
No. So what formula for area would I have for the bottom?
Base times height.
Base times height, and the area is 15. And it just so happens that base and height are the same thing, right?
Right.
So what if I called it x? X times x. What's x times x?
2x.
No, it's not 2x.
X squared.
It's x squared. X
Oh,
times
yeah.
x is x squared.
7.
So how do I solve that?
Square root.
Square root. So x is root 15.
Square root 15.
Does anyone need to see another example of how to find the
Which
dimensions
is
of the
about
bottom?
4. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this with this one.
Kevin?
Yes.
You do? Okay. One more. Now, we can't do that with a rectangle, right? Because we don't know the ratio of the length to the width. So unless we were told that, we wouldn't know.
We have to find that out in order to.
Right. So we're really only going to be doing this if we know that the shape at the bottom of it, the two sides are the same. Otherwise, we can't really do it. So let's say the height of this is 12, and let's say the volume is 90 inches cubed. So this is 12 inches. You like that?
Check and see if you're saying it here.
That hasn't been used in a long time. Be cautious. All right. What's B then?
That is 90 inches cubed.
Okay.
Um,
Big B we don't know.
H is 12,
H is 12.
divided by 3.
And it just so happens I could do the 12 divided by 3, so why not do it?
Please don't.
Why not?
Because it confuses me.
You're going to do 12 divided by 3?
I know that it makes me do more work at the end.
Look. It is more convenient because I can reduce that, right? Now, if you want to multiply both sides by 3, you can. I get 270.
I'd rather do that.
12b. Now what do we do?
Divide by 12.
Divide by 12.
22.5.
And my thing is not cooperating.
See,
12.
wasn't that hard to not simplify?
12. Okay, and 270 divided by 12 is?
22.5.
Not that hard, Mr. Kane. I don't know why you wanted to make me confused.
Okay, now, remember what big B represents.
Fierce.
What does big B represent?
The area of the base.
Area of the base. So, the base
Square root.
is a rectangle, base times height. The area of that's 22.5. And since it's a square, sorry. So since it's a square, I know that B and H are the same. So x times x squared. Square root that, what's the square root of 22.5 to the nearest 10?
4.7.
4.7. Just for fun, let's do a cylinder.
You said 10 minutes. It's been
Okay,
20.
fine. I'll get you to your actual word.
Bye.